Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I bring you greetings in the name of our Lord Jesus. This video will um, make you cry, or it depends on how you feel. But even though that it is not too graphic, the story behind it is very, very painful. And sometimes I feel lost as per why people behave like this. Um, I'm going to show you the video. I'm going to read the story to you with pictures. And at the end of the day, it is what it is. This is not the first time. In fact, my sister sent it to me, and after reading it, I told her, I wasn't even expecting it to end the way it ended. But 75% of this sex gender are involved in this. I know some persons may not understand this, but I wish that you just detach yourself from any form of bias and listen to the story. At the end of it, well, make known to us what you think. So I'm just going to read the story to you the way it is. It was told. So here we go. This is a story of a couple that allegedly were in love, but then if this is how love starts and ends, it is not worth it. Love is not given it. It's not worth giving a try. If this is how it starts and eventually ends. Okay, so this is the story of Hassan Adeyemo and his wife Sarah Adeyemo. Now, this is their picture, the two lovebirds, and this was when the young man, relocated to the States to meet with his wife. So Hassan and his wife Sarah Adeyemo, when he entered America, he was so happy to see his beautiful wife and lovely kids again after 3 years. So now the story is this. This was where the two of them were, you can actually see that they were allegedly in love. Allegedly in love. But here we go. You are welcome to the End Time Truth Television, the channel for the lovers of truth, for the truth of the end time. So if you are a lover of truth, give us a subscription and God bless you. Shalom. In 1998, a 21-year-old Nigerian soldier named Hassan Adeyemo from Ibadan met and fell in love with an 18-year-old beautiful Hausa girl from Bauchi called Sarah. It was love at first sight. They got married in 1999 and God blessed them with a beautiful daughter in 2000. After her, they had 2 other daughters and 1 boy, making 4 kids. Hassan loved his wife so much and told her not to work because of stress. He was providing everything she ever wanted for her and the kids. And in 2014, Hassan wanted a better life for his family. So with his wife's agreement, he decided to send them to the US. Sarah and the kids entered the United States in 2014. Before they got there, Hassan already arranged a rented house and car for them. Sarah wasn't working. Hassan was sending big money to them for upkeep from Nigeria every month. Despite the distance, Hassan bonded with his wife and kids. Everyone was happy. In 2017, Hassan, who has missed his family so much, decided to relocate to America and stay with them. Now, note that this story is strange because ordinarily it is people who are in the overseas that send money to those of their people who are at home here. But the guy was so comfortable enough and so loving that he was the one sending money to them overseas. But then I do not know why they took that decision. If he was that rich and comfortable in Nigeria here that he could afford getting them a house, renting them a house and getting them a car over there, and still was funding their feeding and paying their bills from here. I don't know what they actually relocated to that place for, but that is not the end of the story. Right now, before Hassan came, Sarah had started hair braiding just to be keeping herself busy when the kids were in school. Everyone loved her and the way she braided beautiful styles. Gradually, she became a household name in Orlando, Florida. Ladies flooded her to make their hair. What she was doing for fun became something big overnight. Hassan entered the US and things were going smoothly. Hassan, who was a big man in Nigeria, left everything and came to America to start all over with menial jobs. He had no papers. yet. So he was doing jobs that paid him peanuts. And that's why I was questioning that decision. All right. Now, part 4. God blessed them with a baby boy in 2018, making 5 kids. Sarah was making at least $1,000 a day with the help of her daughters, who she had trained. She was very fast and efficient in breeding. With this income, she was able to support the family with all expenses because Hassan's income couldn't meet up with the bills. Hassan got his papers and started Uber and delivery jobs. He worked from day to night and was contributing his quota to the family, but his money was like coins to what his wife, Sarah, was making. Sarah became the breadwinner of the house. There is this saying that when a woman makes money, she feels she can be independent. But when a man makes money, he wants to give his family a better life. Now, this in this place now, you know the coin has changed. The side of the coin has changed. When the guy was in Nigeria, where he was familiar and where he had his business or whatever work he was doing established, he was a big guy. Now, compared to when he abandoned those things and left for America, now the next thing, what you are hearing now, is that the wife became the breadwinner of the house. Oh, which is beautiful. Such a wonderful wife. But what happened? Then issues started because Sarah was always complaining that Hassan couldn't afford her lifestyle. She became the children's favorite because she gave them everything they asked for, while daddy could not meet up. Sarah entered the house whenever she wished. She became the boss, always calling Hassan lazy and useless. Yet Hassan was always begging her for peace to reign. Hassan didn't like trouble in any form. Sarah and her kids formed their own group in the house and abandoned daddy to always sort himself out. Sarah stopped cooking for him. Now, this is where that demon off. See, this thing is basically true. Now, like I said, 75% of women or more, this is how their heart is set. Now, the other 25% are very scarce to get. You may be a woman listening to this now, you're watching this video and you are like, no, it's not possible, I can't do this. Now, you wait until you are actually in the position that this lady, found herself, Sarah found herself. It is then, I've seen ladies that they are the ones feeding the family, clothing their husbands, paying the house rent. And when the husband's relatives come to the house to visit, they will give the man money inside the room to come and give to his people so that it will be like our son is doing well. Our son is the one sponsoring. So, I'm not saying that all women are like this, but those who are very, very, good when it comes to this kind of situation are very few, But if you are like that, congratulations to your husband. Hassan became depressed and was always begging friends and family members to help talk to his wife to change. He was always crying like a baby, saying Sarah made him feel less of a man in the house. His friends encouraged him to persevere and ignore whatever she did. January 2020, Sarah announced to Hassan that she has bought a house. They moved to the new house and then she continued showing him shege, showing him hell. Leave my house if you cannot obey me, you irresponsible man. Remember the story that it was the man that brought her to the US and it was the man that was keeping her until what she was doing as pastime, as fun, just to find something doing, became a very big business established. So now the man became irresponsible. I do not really know. This kind of women do have very short, memory. I cannot fix it. Now she locked him out in the cold so many times and threw his things out. The children were on their mother's side because she was the provider. Hassan became overdepressed and started having suicidal thoughts. He told his friends life was unfair and that he would kill himself. They advised him to leave the marriage because it was obvious his wife was no longer in love, but he kept on asking, where will I start from? I love my wife, a woman I have invested all my life on, the only woman I ever loved. What did I do to deserve this from her? And that is a very depressing, thought. Realization, and it is very, very, very unfortunate. You see, the children now are even on their mother's side. Well, April 2023, Sarah told him she had bought another house and that this house is specifically for her alone and her customers. She told Hassan to hold on to the boys while the girls followed her to the new house. Hassan was like, "Why do you want to separate the family?" She said, if all of you would follow me to the house, it will be disturbing my customers. You can be bringing my sons over at weekends to sleep, but you can't sleep over. I need my privacy." People tried to talk to Sarah, but she didn't listen. Hassan agreed, hoping his wife would change her mind one day. Sarah told in August 21, this 2023. Now we have just entered September, right? August 21. Sarah told him, "I would like my sons to move in with me while you stay in the old house for now. I need you to move their stuff and all my remaining property in the house here. Whenever you wish to see your kids, let me know. I will find a means." Hassan begged and begged for them to stay together. She refused. So he told her he would bring them and their stuff on Friday night, which he did. She didn't let him enter the house. She took the stuff he brought and the boys and locked him outside. He knocked for almost an hour. She refused to open. And before you become sentimental as a woman, now just pause and remember what you have read from the beginning of this story till now. Tell us what the man has done wrong. I know that, some of you may say some men are irresponsible and they deserve this thing, but in the account, the story that we have told now, there is no trace of irresponsibility attributable to the man. That the woman is where she is today, or she was at this point in time, happens to be the effort of the man. Now, before I give you the final part, what would you advise your brother if your brother happens to be Hassan? If your brother was Hassan, what kind of advice would you give him? Would you ask him to continue? Maybe you are his pastor and this kind of a thing is happening to him, messing up his mind to the point of getting getting to the point of desiring to kill himself. What would you have advised this man to do? Can you put it down in the comment section? I'll be back after this. Alright, you're welcome. The following day, August 26, was Hassan's 46th birthday. Early in the morning, she sent him a message. "Happy birthday, friend." Her husband, remember? "We are better off as friends than lovers. You need to look for where you will be staying cause I have to get rid of the old house. I wish you well in life. I have moved on." Few hours later, the kids called him to get them some groceries, and he told them he would bring it in the evening. At about 6:30 p.m., he called the kids. He was on the way to the house with the groceries. He got there and knocked. The kids opened. What happened next? Can you guess what actually happened? It's tragic. It's tragic. But then somebody started it. Now look at it. He asked for their mom and they said she was in the shower. He entered and went to the bathroom, brought out a gun and shot her in the head, on the chest and in the leg. He called 911. "Hello, I just killed the bitch. This is the address. I am here waiting for you." He sat down on the floor beside Sarah's body. The cops came and rushed Sarah to the hospital. She was still breathing. She died 2 hours after she got to the hospital. Mr. Adeyemo is now at the Orange County Jail in Florida. He will either be sentenced to death or life in prison without parole. Now that's why I said this is very, very tragic. Now this wasn't the end I envisaged, and probably the young man maybe had no, I don't know how to pin it, because I thought that if he had left the marriage, or if he had thought twice about who he was in Nigeria and just allow these things and return home, maybe, because now this is a problem. This is a problem. I said earlier that there is a saying. I saw that quote and it is true with some women. I must be sincere that it's not every woman. I have just explained to you that I know that there are some women with good heart. Now, but some women, once they have made money, they feel like they are independent. They don't need anybody. Now, and if there is anybody in their life, they want to be the boss. Now, but with a good man, and men are just wired like that. When a man makes money, he wants to give his family the best kind of life. The best kind of life. We know that there are evil men out there, but for me, I think that this thing is more common with women. Well, I will believe in it, but it is so painful. It's so painful. And you see, we also have this record that so many women who are so good here in Africa, once they are brought over to places like UK or US, they turn out to become something else. Now, some persons may say that some men, African men here carry their ego and the way they treat their women in Africa over to that side, because the law over there favors women more than the men. So when they try to live like the Africans they were here over there, the women take advantage of it. But the truth is that, see, I don't support men maltreating women. I don't support men maltreating women. But we also know that there are some women who take advantage, undue advantage of the conditions, the laws over there in the West, to cry out when there is no need to cry, to call police when there was no need to call the police, and just to implicate the man, to chase the man out of the house, because there is also benefit attached to being a single mom over there in the West. So you are watching this video. I just wish that you are not that kind of a woman. Well, thank God that you're a Christian. I know you are a Christian, a child of God. All right. Now, why I brought up this is that there was no trace of violence, reported or attributed to this man. All he did wrong was that he relocated from Nigeria to come and be with his family that he loved so much and he has missed. And all he got in return was this kind of treatment, because the tide had turned and the woman became the provider of the home. And she forgot immediately that without the man, she probably would not have gotten to that level. Let's know what you think about this in the comment section. I'll be seeing you in the next video. Till then, with pain and grief in my heart, I sign out. From me to you, shalom.